at Sam Stadium. 7 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night. You know what? I know I've said it once, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I often tend to. Why can't we do a Saturday morning game?
That would be pretty good.
Do a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I know it's blistering hot, and I know it's ridiculous outside, but there's got to be somebody that's got a giant grill that says, I'm going to set up at 5 o'clock. We're gonna have some bacon and eggs. We're going to have some potato and eggs and stuff like that. And let's do a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We're done by noon. Then we all go hit the different places to have lunch. Can we make something like that happen?
Yeah, I think our next guest would he'd do it in a second, I hope.
We got him ready to go. Coach Max Habecker of the Roma Gladiators is joining us here on the Huddle. Coach, good morning, sir. How are you?
How you doing, guys?
Very well. Let's first question off the back. What is the correct pronunciation of your last name?
Habecker.
Habecker.
Yes, sir.
All right. I've heard Habecker. I've heard Habecker, but it's Habecker now.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And that is from German descent, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Aren't many Germans out there in Roma?
We're very few.
Coach, you know what? And this is Tony Fonino, by the way. I didn't get to interview you last time that you were on the Huddle.
Yes,
give me a little background on you, because you're a relatively young guy. I want to say that you may not even hit 30 years old yet.
Oh, no. Now I'm blushing, man. I'm about to turn 35.
About to turn 30. How old were you when you took over the team?
26.
26.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you were
Yes, sir.
26 years old. You're a product of Roma, right?
Yes, sir.
And you come back and you take over this team. What is your initial thought?
Coming back home, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew it was going to be a tough road, but I wanted the challenge. The kids from here are really good kids, and it was just about tapping into that part of Roma that I always knew is there. And it took some time, but, we're headed the right direction.
Now, this is your second stint as a head coach of the Gladiators, right?
I guess you could say that.
There was a period of time where you were taken off, and then whatever happened, and you come back, and you're back as the head coach.
A whole week.
A whole week.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was longer than that. But so you've reached into this potential. The kids know that you're from Roma, and you've been there going on 8 years now.
Yes.
Tell me how it feels for you.
I'm just happy to represent my hometown with pride and to put a product on the field that other people can be proud of as well.
And is that what you're putting on the field right now?
Right now, I think that's what we're doing, and we're going to continue to try and do that for the rest of the season.
So there was the big matchup last night. They were calling it the Battle of Stark County. Obviously, there are 3 teams in Stark County now. There's you guys, there's Gruya, and Rio Grande City.
Yes,
but you and Rio Grande City met up last night. Tell me about your game.
It was a physical game. Coach Longoria and I have known each other for many years, have the most respect for him. And, we're talking for the game, and we both knew that it was going to be a physical game. And that's exactly what it was. The kids both teams got after it. My hats off to them. They did a great job. And at the end of the day, we were able to come out on top. We made some mistakes. They capitalized, and that's part of the game. You can't take anything away from anybody. They did a great job. But at the end of the day, we made a little bit more plays, and we were able to come out with the win.
And the team that makes the least amount of mistakes picks up the W. That's what you guys did.
Yes, sir.
What was the atmosphere like for you? Because I talked to Jake, and we started the show off, and it was, here's how it is when you get to Roma and Stark County. Like, the teams from this side of the valley often feel like we have to be there to cover them. And when 956 Sports rolls out to Stark County, it's like they're grateful to see us there.
It's true. It's true. And I can only speak for myself, but when 956 Sports or any media outlet comes out here, we're very gracious. We're gonna host you guys with whatever we can do, the best that we can do. And we just love the attention for our kids, because I know it's a long drive and it's hard to get out here in the traffic and all the different things. So when we really appreciate people coming down and covering our kids in all sports.
Yeah, but I mean that's our job. I mean, this is why we get into this beast of a business. I know that our friends and our neighbors here at KRGV Channel 5 did a story on the volleyball program right before volleyball season started, and it was like you guys went the extra effort to show us the entire routine that you go through, almost like a CrossFit program. That you're putting the volleyball team through, and now with football, and we show up, and some guys are there. I got my one defensive play, I got my one offensive touchdown. We move on to the next game. How does that affect your players? How does that, what mentality does that put your players in?
I think that the kids enjoy watching it, obviously on the internet and on all the different type of media outlets. They like to see, obviously, our progress being put out there because they really, really work hard. I mean, we have to do so much more than everybody else. We don't have a lot of numbers. We're getting better, but we're still not there up to par with everybody else. A lot of our kids are first generation football players. They're teaching their parents the game. So, we're behind in so many different areas that we have to work that much harder.
And are you guys making the progress that you want to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every day we're getting better. Every week we're getting better, and that's what I ask of them, to continually improve.
So, to the thousands of people that may not make it to Roma to see the Gladiators, to see you guys play. One, you have a beautiful facility out in Roma, which should be showcased often because I mean the stadium is fantastic.
Thank you.
The folks there are so gracious. Explain your team to us.
Our team is a very gritty team. They work hard. The way you see us play on Fridays, that we practice every day. We're very blue collar, and that's the only way we know how to work because that's the way the kids are taught to work every single day.
Now, Coach, let's talk halftime adjustments from yesterday because you guys
sir.
are down at the half. You go into the locker room, and you're not out of the game by any means. What were your adjustments? What did you tell the kids in the locker room? Because your defense came out and you really took control of the line.
Yeah, in the second half, we were able to hold them to about 7 yards total, and that had to do with our team being on the same page. That was our biggest adjustment. Everybody being on the same page and understanding our responsibilities and our assignments, and them also understanding the fact that if one guy messes up, you're going to hurt the team. And that's pretty much what we did the second half. Everybody just stepped up the intensity, and they did their job.
Now, I haven't told Tony about this play yet, and we talked about it last night as you were walking back to the locker room. You guys were punting. You were probably on your 30 or 40-yard line, or
yes,
on the Rio side.
Yes,
and it was kind of a low snap. Your punter gets it. He's a big boy, your punter. Yeah. It looked scripted. It looked like he was faking it. It looked like a Reggie Roby kind of like behind the leg kind of thing, and then fake it and go. But he faked it, and he just took off. And your lineman, everybody blew up a Rio player just so he could get that first down. I mean, and it took a while for him to get that momentum going. He's a big boy. What happened on that play? Because I'm going to put it out today, the highlights when I get home right now. But I mean, what happened on that play?
We didn't call it a punt fake. I can tell you that, honestly. The kid made a play, but it's stuff that we work on a daily basis. We work on bad snaps in our kicking game, and it just so happened that it happened, and the kids were prepared, and they didn't freeze. They used their football savviness and went and made a play.
Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this about you, but you had told me this when I was at your 2 days, the first day. You used to be a defensive coach. Now you're handling the offensive side.
Yes, sir.
Which one do you enjoy more? Because there's some differences between the two.
Yeah, no, I like to be involved in every aspect of our program: offense, defense, special teams, strength conditioning, everything. So I enjoy being involved in everything, honestly.
You enjoy just being all over the show.
Yeah, man. I mean, the coaches do my assistant coaches do a tremendous job of getting their kids ready, and I'm able to float right, and oversee and or have my opinions, and it's easy this way because they can do all that grind, and I'm able to oversee everything, and we're able to make good adjustments. We work very well together, and it's worked out for us.
So you do work on the fake punt or the fake field goal every now and then, but last night it wasn't meant to be.
No, last night it wasn't. That was all the kids. I'm not going to take credit for something that I didn't do here.
Now, what is your thought process when you see your guy doing this?
I mean, I see the line. When the ball's low, and then I see everybody turn around and just start running, and it's like, oh my God, he's going to get a first down, And he did, man. Right? And George has quick feet. He's a soccer player. He's a big boy, but he's got quick feet.
Okay.
And he made a cut, made one guy miss, and got forward, man, for about 15 yards. So it was perfect.
I like the way he said he's a soccer player, but he's got quick feet.
Yeah, he's got quick feet, man.
All right, Coach, it would be remiss if we didn't mention this next week. And we've got Rob Vela, the son of Robert Vela, is listening right now on Fox Sports 1700. What do you guys have to do to beat, Robert Vela next week?
First of all, they're an offensive juggernaut, man. Those guys score in bunches. They can score on the ground. They score on special teams. They score on offense. They score passing. Every which way you can imagine. They score on defense. So first things first is we can't give up any cheap touchdowns. Because if we do that, we're going to put ourselves in a hole. We got to take care of the football, and we have to play very good special teams to give ourselves a chance. And after that, it goes back to fundamentals: tackling well, running to the football, and blocking.
There you go.
Yeah. What did you see? I already know you guys. As soon as the game's over, coaches are always looking at tape from last week. What did you see last night that you guys got to shore up that you didn't have against Rio, but you need to have against Vela?
Situations. We had an opportunity to open the game up there twice when we were inside the red zone. A penalty took us back both times. From the 1 yard line, we ended up at the 6, and then I believe the other time we were at the 9 and got a 15-yard penalty. Ended up, back 15 yards. So those things right there will be addressed. We have to clean them up because we don't want to leave points out there because you never know what's going to happen.
I just want to say, Coach, when the tradition of the Roma Gladiators winning district starts and you guys are 3 or 4 years into it, I picked you first.
We're going to take it 1 week at a time, man. And after that, after the season, we'll see what happens. But right now, we got our hands full with Robert Vela High School. Coach Salinas is doing a tremendous job. And, we can't look further than Friday. It's the whole focus is going to be on this Friday.
That's the important way. That's the first thing to do is week by week, game by game. We appreciate the time, Coach, and I'm just going to call you Coach Max if that's all right.
That's fine, man. No problem.
We'll work with that. I appreciate you, brother, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You got it. Coach Max of the Roma Gladiators joining us here on the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio 1700 KVNS. Jake, you broke it down. You tell us, is he spot on with what his team did and with what Rio did? And
yeah, defensively they were really good in the second half. In the first half, it's a rivalry game, so you're going to have those games where nothing really, you can script it all you want. In the first half, it's not going to work because emotions run rampant.
Right.
And second half, his team really regrouped, and they played well. They're going to have to play the way they did in the second half against Vela because Vela has so many weapons.
You have to play perfect ball against Vela.
Yeah, and Sherry Lynn played tough defense last night, and played great offense, and they fell short. But Roma's going to have to do the same thing because I think Vela really is the second best team in the Valley.
So that's where you have them.
Yeah, we Greg puts out a top 20 list every week, and Vela's been to.
Let's break down this list.
One day was 25. Yes.
Let's break down this list on the top 20 list. When Greg Selber puts this list together, he's not just throwing darts at a board and he says, okay, this is for position number 1, this is for position number 2. This man if you have not had the opportunity to sit down, just sit down and discuss Valley High School football with Greg Selber, that's the first thing you need to do. Just pick his brain a bit. And, I often like to think that I've seen quite a bit of Valley High School football. I think I can get it wrong. I can't. Not next to Greg Selber. And we're talking about plays from, 1990 and going forward. And Selber will tell you, he'll break down the stats for you on that team and how they rank in Valley history. So we know that we're not always going to agree with each other on what team should be ranked 1, what team should be ranked 2, what team should be ranked 3. Some people really overestimate their team and think that their team needs to be in the top 20. But in actuality, if you haven't played anybody yet, you can't claim that spot. Am I off base here, Jake?
No. If you look at his stuff, like he comes over to my house and we go over notes before we do our podcast, our webcast.
Right.
And he's got 7 sheets for me to just review. And he emails it to me ahead of time. Then he's got more stuff when he gets to my house. And he's got numbers. He's got records from before, the last time this team beat somebody.
Head to head.
I mean, it's incredible. And the difference is, and I'm not knocking anybody else, I'm just saying, when you have a guy like, you have the older gentlemen like Pikey, Rodriguez, and stuff like that have seen Valley football for many years.
Right.
They can pretty much, they're not guys that just come as a stepping stone to go somewhere else.
Right.
There's some familiarity with everything. They love what they do. They love the kids, and they understand the Valley culture.
They know the programs. They know the history of the programs, and I'm a big believer that to know where you're going, you have to know where you've been, and that means part of educating yourself on where the program is and where it's been. So. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to pause for commerce. When we come back, we hope to have Coach Kevin Brewer is going to join us. There's a lot of action going on at Mac High today because they have a big volleyball matchup.
Yeah, they do.
McCallum Memorial is taking on Mac High there at the gym. So that's pretty big. Right next door at the stadium, you have Bands of America. If you're fans of the halftime performances, maybe you're not so much into the football, but you're into the halftime performances, Bands of America is happening today at McCallum's Veterans Memorial Stadium. And I believe they have over 30 different bands that are performing. And then at 7:30 tonight, they're going to have the top 10 bands that are going to perform. There's like an $8 charge to get in per person, so if you want to invest that money right there. And then there's, if you're into swimming, there's at the Nicky Rowe Natatorium, there's some time trials going on there for the different swimmers. We call it the Huddle, but every sport has the Huddle, so we're just wrapping through the entirety of the sports world that's happening right now. So, and we'll come back. We've got more of the Huddle, thanks to our great friends at McDonald's. There's a McDonald's nearby you right now. You know that you're looking at your watch. Oh, we missed out on the Egg McMuffin breakfast. All right, we got to go with the Big Mac. Can't miss out on that. Stop on by your local Mickey D's. Tell them that the folks from 956sports.com and the Huddle sent you. Also, Christina Sala, State Farm Insurance. If you are looking for savings, maybe up to 40% on your insurance costs, you've got to give her a buzz. 971-0007. You can't get an easier number than that. 971-0007. Christina Salas is your agent. See what I did there?
Yes.
0007 agent. She's your State Farm agent that'll help you out along the way. Like a good neighbor, State Farm and Christina Salas is there. And we're right here in the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio 1700 KVNS.